Okay, everyone, today is our Net Plus session, and we took a vote. Everyone decided that we're going to probably play around with this tool here, this resource, just to give you an idea of what it's about and some of the activities that you can do. And then if we have some time, I guess we can get into some subnetting a little later. But I'll probably just do a separate session on just subnetting. So, okay. There's quite a bit of activities in here. By the way, this tool is from Pearson. Anyone that is interested in this, I'll show you the path to get to it real quick. You just go to PearsonITcertification.com. All right, and then up here in this little search box, you just type in hands-on. It's already here. Okay, this tool is directly from Pearson. So the terminology is going to be in line with what you're going to be seeing on the exam. This is probably as close as it's going to get. Okay, so you can see here there's two of them. You want to get the 007 definitely. And you can see here it's $39.99. So it's well worth it. I mean, there's a ton of tools here, and it walks you through, there's about 75 hands-on tools, and here's everything that gets covered. So this is well worth every penny that you spend on it. Okay, so let's come back to this and find an activity to start with. Start with something simple. So port numbers is something that's pretty important. It's a good one to do. So let's do this one as a group. If you know what it is, type it in the chat box or just shout it out. See if we can get all of these. Start with the top. Okay, Dan says 110. I agree. So we'll drag. By the way, this is a typical matching question that you could possibly see on the exam. This is an example of one that you could definitely see on the exam. The main difference is you won't see this many. Maybe it'll be 5 or 6 or something like that. So, okay, any other ones? I think someone said 3389 is RDP. Does everyone agree? I agree. Where is it? Right there. Okay. What else we got? HTTP 80. Sounds about right. Okay. What about network management protocols? By the way, you want to be able to start, if you can't do that yet, you want to make sure that you start spelling these out. By the time you get to Net Plus, especially Security Plus, for those of you that have it, you want to be able to spell these out. So definitely helps. So it's TFTP 69. DHCP 53. Chris on the HTTP. Okay. What about, okay, so this is what I want everyone to do, especially on the, if you're taking the exam, right? If you're not sure, you can always use process of elimination. That's just, the easy way to do that is by finding the easy ones, right? So which ones consider easy? Oh, he changed it now. There you go. All right. So yeah, sounds about right to me, right? So yeah, DNS is going to be 53, right? What about secure shell?
Oh, 22.
That's one I like to call easy. Yeah, 22. Yeah. What about Telnet? Someone said 23. Yeah, 23. There we go, right? If you get these on the exam, make sure you know these because these are like give me questions. If you know, right? It's easy to either you know what it is or you know what the other ones are. What some of the other ones are. Okay, where are we at now? Where is I'm at 143? Okay. And by the way, we can check once we're done. We can check and make sure that we got them. Adam says all transfer protocol is 21. I agree. Okay. Any other SMTP 25? I agree. Someone else mentioned network management 161. Okay. Got a few more here, right? What about HTTPS? We're looking at secure web traffic. Does anyone know what that one is? Four, 443, yeah. I agree. Then we got a couple other ones up there. So, secure web traffic, TFTP 69. I think we got someone did mention that Chris said NTP is 123. Okay, yeah, here we go. Right? And someone did mention DHCP as well. You mentioned both of the ports, which is awesome. Because it does operate on both. But so yeah, 67, 68 is going to be DHCP. All right, so we got a few left. What do we have here? 560 SIP. And RIP is going to be 520. Says. And two more. Only one can be right. No doubts. Chris says 445. Renee says SMB is 445. Robert says SMB is 445 too. So which one? I'm not quoting them. We're all everyone. No, that's why it's good that we're doing this, right? It's okay if we get it wrong. If we get it wrong, then we're all gonna learn something, right? Abby says SMB. All right, so majority are saying SMB, so we're gonna go with SMB. 445 and then 36. How we feel about that? Everyone's good? Everyone feel good? We want to switch any around? Double check. And says he feels good. Okay. 445 for 500. Okay. Let's see how we did. Awesome job. Knocked them all out. Okay, so the main thing for a question like this, especially matching, start with the ones that you know, right? The ones that just pop right in your head, and then that way, if you end up having to guess, at least your percentages are a lot higher, right? So anyway, that's an awesome job. I think pretty much everyone contributed a little bit, so it's a lot easier to do when you have a group. But if there's any that you didn't know, make sure that you take note of that right now. Write it down, put it on like a flashcard or something. Just make sure that you come back to it so that you have it. Because like I said, if you get any of these on the exam, which is pretty likely on Net Plus, to get at least a few of these, these are going to be given as long as you know these. Okay. So the other thing is make sure that you can spell these out, right? Because sometimes they'll give you the acronym. Most of the time they'll give you the acronym, but sometimes they'll pop your code, right? They'll say web traffic or secure remoting, right? You need to remote security, right? Which protocol you're going to use, something like that. So just make sure that you can do that. Awesome job. Okay. So let's take a look at a different type now. Components, network cabling, Internet of Things, terminology. What about wireless antenna placement? Any reason why? What was the question? Use your snipping tool. Oh yeah, there you go. Snipping tool works. I'm not sure. I haven't taken the Learn Key lessons for this exam, so I'm not sure what was said or why. You have to direct that towards Jason.
Okay.
That's what you put in the workbook, right? So there was a question about it in the workbook that I was asking.
Yeah. So when I was watching the videos, it said LDAPS was SSL, not a number. So I was wondering why they didn't say the number and they just said SSL.
Oh no. So the number is just a port number. What they were saying is that it's using SSL, using secure sockets layer, which makes it secure. But that was just what we were doing just then. We're just matching up the port numbers with the protocols.
Yeah, so when I was looking for where they said it in the videos or the training, it didn't say the port number. So that's why I was curious. They labeled all the port numbers except for that one, which I was curious why they didn't use the port number for that one. I was just wondering.
Well, that's a good question. I'll make sure that I bring it up. I wasn't aware. Okay. He said, yeah, Robert said he saw the same thing. So, all right. This one I pulled up because I saw it on my last 2 Net Plus exams. So I thought it would be a good one to look at. Antenna placement. I don't know if you're going to see it on this version of the exam, but this is something that you should definitely do your homework on. So the main thing is, this is kind of a generic version of what was on the exam. I forgot how it actually was. I think there was actually 2 buildings on the one that I saw on the exam, but same concept. So you have this building, and you want to make sure that we maximize the coverage, right? Everyone in here should be able to get a signal and connect to the network, right? And then we have a little courtyard here, right? Obviously we're going to want access in our courtyard as well. But what we want to do is we want to minimize the leakage outside the building, okay? This is what they're going to be asking you to do on the exam. So what this requires you to do is just know the characteristics of the different type of antennas, how they transmit, and where you would put them, okay? So this one is a little, like I said, it's a little more generic. I think they have pictures of the actual access points, and I can't remember if I had to configure them or not. I think I just had to place them. And I think there was another activity where I had to configure them. But anyway, this is a good one to look at. So, well, when I say last two, I'm referring to the 005 and the 006. So I took the 005 once, and then I took the 006 once, and both of them had this, not this exact question here, but it had a question like it. I remember doing intend to place some questions on both of those exams. So, and then I also remember doing multiple access point configurations. So there was another one where I think there was like one building, it was kind of large, and then there were multiple access points. And so I had to configure, I think there was 3 of them, and make sure that you, same deal, right? You want to maximize the signal, and you want to minimize interference. So okay. All right. So when you look down here, you only have a few options, right? So we have a directional. This one just says wireless access, omnidirectional. Then we have a 90-degree semi-directional. So looking here, where would we want to use the omnidirectional? And then right towards the center, right? Because the omni is going to transmit a signal sort of in a circular type of deal. So you want to use the omni like over here towards the corner, because you're going to get a lot of good signal here, but you're also going to get a lot of leakage outside, right? So yeah, I'd probably put the omni like somewhere like either here or here, right? Yeah, there you go, 360, right? Okay. All right, so what about down here? There's only a few areas. I think we have a couple down here, and then we have one up here, and then a couple up here. Wireless access zone. So what about down here? Which one would you use? Right, 90-degree, right? Just kind of gives it away. You have a 90-degree angle right here, right? So you're probably going to use a 90-degree in this area over here, either here or over here, right? Either or. And then what that's going to do is it's going to maximize this and this, and then it's going to minimize this over here, right? So, looks like we only have one of those. So, or actually, no, we can use another one. So if we're going to use one over here, we're probably going to use one over here too, right? You said on the left side. AC heater. I don't think we're going that deep into it. Are you talking about this? You mean move the omni over here? Or are you talking about the 90 degrees? Bottom right. Okay. Yeah, physical plant AC heat. All right. Okay, I see what you're saying. Let me put the omni back up here. All right, so we have an omni. Okay, so what about? So it looks like it's pretty good here, right? We're not going to have any leakage coming out this way, and we're not going to have any leakage coming out this way. And then with the omni, we're pretty much getting that.
Friendship, or what it means to be a hero, or having legs.
Okay. Yeah, try to keep your mics muted if you're not talking. That way I don't have to edit that much out. Okay, let's see. Okay, so where else are we? So we have a couple here, right? I'm gonna want to put some access points here, right, to kind of boost whatever we need to boost. So we'll put one. Let's say we'll put one on channel 1 here. Okay. Let's assume that channel 1 is covering a whole lot, right? What channel are we gonna want to put this one here on? This is important, by the way, right? So first says 6 or 11. Yeah, either or, right? As long as it's just not the same channel, that's what we're looking at. So probably go 11 here, okay? And so on this side over here, we would probably want to go 6. Okay, and that way, if there is any overage or leakage, right, there's no interference. Okay, so this is what you're looking at. If you get this question on the actual exam, just make sure the main thing that you're looking at, especially when the access points are close, is you're looking at the channels. Okay, make sure that they're not on the same channels. That's going to be your biggest interference problem that you're going to get. Is if you have 2 access points too close to each other and they're on the same channel, you're going to get a lot of interference. Okay, so other than that, this is what you want to do. All right, you want to maximize the signal inside your building here. Okay, and you want to make sure that you're not getting too much leakage on the outside. I actually got a question like this on my 1002 the other day. I don't know why. It was kind of weird, but they gave me a question that was kind of like this. Actually, it was different. It was from a security perspective. There was another building and they were stealing Wi-Fi. That was that's what the question was about. But so you just have to figure out how to stop them from stealing the Wi-Fi. But it was kind of along the same lines. But yeah, then this reception area up here, same deal. You just want to I would put probably directional antenna up here. If you put an Omni, you're probably going to be getting a lot of leakage on the outside, right? So you're just kind of looking for something that's concentrated, right? We're just kind of concentrated this way. And then you can put, right, since this is channel 1 and you have 11 down here, then, if you were going to put another access point, I would put this on 6. Okay, so the main thing is that, right, you got channel 6, you got 1, you got 11 down here, and then you have 6 and 6 as far away from each other as possible. Since we're using it twice, right? I probably want to use 11 here because, with the 90-degree directional, you're getting a lot of concentrated push here. And so there's a good chance that you're going to get some interference if you're using the same channel here. So that's why you have 11 down here, 1, and then 6. That way, no interference. And then you have 6 way down here. All right. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. All right. So yeah, just make sure the main thing, if you get this question, you pick the right antenna for the right area, which shouldn't be too hard. And then just make sure that your channels aren't, you don't have any interfering channels next to each other, and then you should do fine on this one. Okay. Oh, check the answer. Oh no, let's see. Yeah, we're good to go. So, and again, the reason I brought this up is because I remember it on the last 2 exams. I should be taking the 007 here soon in the next month or so. And so, I'll probably be anticipating seeing this one. Even if I don't, I'll be ready for it. So, yeah, this is a good one to make sure that you understand. Okay. All right, how much time do we got? Oh, okay, we got plenty of time. We can do a couple more. Yeah, I actually am. I'm restarting for the second time. So, normally what in a real world situation, what I would do is I would just cert master Sec Plus and recert all of my certs. But since I'm trying to help you guys, I'm kind of going through the gauntlet again. I'm trying to make sure that, I still remember what these exams are like. And that's why I've been taking them. I took the 1002 on Wednesday. I took the 1001 a few weeks before that, and I'll be taking Net Plus soon. With Sec Plus, I think I am going to start master that. Just because I want to be able to speak on that. I've been getting questions about it. It's been it is a way that you can research now. For the lab, I think they started doing that like 2 years ago, but I haven't done it yet. So I'm gonna try it this time with Sec Plus. And that way, if anyone asks me about it, I can be like, yeah, it was easy or it was hard. Or what I've heard is it's pretty easy. It's an easy way to renew all your certs. But yeah, I'm kind of going through the gauntlet just to make sure that I know what I'm talking about when I'm trying to help you guys. So, okay. Let's see another one here. I want to do sort of a networking one. Our IP config, our venture. Okay, let's try this one. Let's see what this one is about. Okay. Oh, by the way, any questions on any of the stuff that we covered so far? Hopefully that stuff is pretty straightforward. Okay, there are some other concepts I want to make sure everyone understands. So, and there's no particular questions on anything else. Okay, let's keep trucking then. Okay, so this activity, I like this because the facilities. Okay, so this is a little bit different. Okay, you have a little network here. Okay. What I want you to understand is that this is actually configurable to an extent. Okay, it's not fully configurable like Packet Tracer. Packet Tracer, you can take it as far as your knowledge will take you. You can do all kind of configurations here, and you can test them and you can watch them. Okay, this tool is actually going to limit you depending on what the exercise is about. But let's go through it. Okay, so let's pass all the way for a second. All right, so you can see here that if I click on the switch, I can actually access the switch. Okay, or actually I think it's a router because it has R1, so we'll call it a router until they tell me otherwise. Then I have a couple PCs here, right? So I can click on this PC and type in IP config, and we'll do all. That's the port. Okay, then you can see here I get some information. And it's not typically what you're going to see on the IP config all. If you go to your command line and you type in IP config all, right now you're going to get way more than this. Okay, so you can see that this is a little limited. They're just giving you basic information even when I type the all. Okay. But anyway, so let's go through this exercise and see what we can do here. Okay, so step 1 is saying click TC8 and access the command line to perform the I already did it. Nice. In the previous lab, discover the IP address of your default gateway. Okay, so our default gateway here is going to be 1.1. Okay, this is a typical Class C default gateway that you'll see on a Soho, right? So your home, a small office, something like that, right? So we know what our default gateway is. Step 2, from the C drive prompt, this is the command ping. So we're going to ping, what are we looking to ping? Okay, so let's try it. 172.1.0.14. Time's out. I need someone to double check what I'm reading because I'm a schemer. So someone let me know if I do something wrong. Okay. So yeah, something went wrong. So something was supposed to go wrong. Okay. Trying to narrow down the scope. All right. So now we're going to use trace route. Okay. This is typical troubleshooting steps. All right. So ping is first, right? I want to see if we can ping it, and now we want to trace route and see where the problem is because we couldn't reach 172.21.0.14. Now we're going to do trace route. Same thing, 172.21.0.14. Right. See what's going on. Okay, so first hop was our gateway, but everything after that didn't work, right? So it tells us that our gateway is up and it should be working fine, but so this tells me there's probably something wrong with either configuration or the maybe the gateway of last resort hasn't been set. But so let's just keep going through it. So let's use trace route to the same IP address. Okay, we already did that. The open mic 127. What's that, Dan? The 127. Did I do something wrong? Okay. Gateway is both reachable and the local machine is correctly configured to reach it. However, the default gateway is not able to process the request any further, right? That's basically what I just said. So the inability to reach the address looks message, request timed out. This can suggest one of several possibilities. So either this isn't reachable, it could be reachable, but if it is, we can't get there, not yet, not the way things are configured, or the 172 level address is not on a reachable network. Okay. So, yeah, there are other possibilities. I already went through a couple of them, but the same before jumping to conclusions, we're going to do some more. All right, so this time we're going to do a trace route to 43.10 or 192. Okay, so same thing, right? So we're going to do trace route to 192.0.43.10. Is that something that is on our network? Yep. All right, so we're trying to get up here, right? Trying to get from here all the way up here. So we'll see what happens. Okay, just see we made it. All right. Typically, it doesn't pop up this fast. It'll show the hops as they're going, but this is still either way. 192. Yes, this network is 192.168.1.1, right? If you go back to up top where we did the IP config, you can see, right, this is our network, 192.168. So what we did is we actually went to the example.com, right? That's what we're pinging here, all right? And that one actually went through. Okay, so it says observe the output. So question 1, what is the first address used to reach www.exam.com site? Well, first hop is always going to be the gateway, right? If you're trying to get anywhere, even if I'm trying to ping TC9, the first hop is always going to be the gateway. So it's going to be 192.168.1.1, right? Yep, there we go. Got that right. What does the output indicate is the last address before reaching the final destination, right? That's going to be this address right here, right? So 64.125.188.173, right? Okay. And then step 5. Once you are done, click on check my configuration button at the top of the screen and allow. Check my configuration. Sorry, so we did. So basically, this one just kind of walks you through the troubleshooting steps. Doesn't even tell you what the problem was, I guess. What the output step will produce additional lines and continuing the trace. Whereas step 3, output stops. Okay, well that's kind of easy to answer, right? So basically, what happened here is this router didn't know what to do when we gave it the address. And that's why it didn't do anything. It just dropped it. Okay. So it's either the gateway of last resort, right? And basically what that is if a router, right? If you configure a router statically or even dynamically, and you send it a packet to an address that's not in its routing table, well then it drops it unless there's a defaulted gateway, unless there's a gateway of last resort set up, which is basically just means that if you get an address that's going to a IP address that's not in your routing table, then just send it here, right? That's what your gateway of last resort is, right? Send it. That's basically like you're trying to get to the internet, right? The internet doesn't have any addresses that are going to look like the ones that are in your network, so it's going to send it this way, send it to the internet. Okay, so probably what happened. Step 3, output stops at 192.68.1.1. Step 4, produce additional lines in the trace because it was reachable. Okay, any questions on that? Where is the 64.125 Addy? Yeah, that's going to be here. So the question they were asking here was, what does the output indicate is the last address before reaching the final destination, right? So in your trace route, your first destination is always going to be your access point, okay? And then what they're asking here is, what's the address before the final destination? This is the final destination here, right? This is the one that we trace routed to, and so this is the one before it, right? This is the last hop prior to getting to this location. And what you can notice here, hopefully what you notice here is that all of these, like this is a private address, right? And this is a private address as well, right? Everything in between are public addresses. Okay, hopefully you all notice that. So what happens is, right, you send a packet from inside your network, which is private. It then goes outside the network, right? So all these different routers until it reaches the last router, which then translates it, right? Pushes it here. So where are the public addresses in the diagram? There's no public addresses here because this is a private network. There are no public addresses here, right? Your public addresses come when you get outside your network. So this is basically is showing you each hop from our network, right? The first hop obviously is going to be here. So from PC8, we're going here. And then from here, we're going out into the internet, right? Going here, and then we're hopping, and we're hopping, and we're hopping, and we're hopping all the way till we get to the last hop. Then we get to our destination. Okay, hopefully. So what I want you to think of routers, I think I used this example before, but think of routers like an airport. Okay, you're connecting to different cities. You're connecting to different countries, right? When you're on the airport, when you're going to the airport, right? You're going from Houston to Atlanta. You're going from Atlanta to Cancun, right? You're going from from wherever. And your switch is going to be more like your Uber driver or your cab, right? They're just going to take you around the city, right? You need to go to the park or the grocery store or the movie theaters or whatever, right? Just kind of think of it like that, and hopefully that kind of helps, right? So this is your switch, and we're going to the airport, and we're connecting to. This is one with a bunch of layovers, right? So you're going from LA to New York, but you're stopping in Phoenix and then Nevada, and then you're stopping in, Atlanta and then Chicago, whatever, all the way until you get to your destination. Hopefully that kind of makes a little bit more sense for you. Maybe it doesn't, but okay, we have about 10 minutes left. Does anyone have any other questions about this? This is good stuff. All right, this is your basic like troubleshooting stuff that you're gonna want to know this stuff going into the exam, because more than likely what they're gonna do is they'll put you in a situation exactly like this, but maybe you've already tried. In this one, our first step was pinging the gateway, right? So which that could totally be the answer, right? If you're at the beginning of the troubleshooting process, the first thing that you would probably do in a scenario like this would be ping the gateway, or ping the site that you're trying to get to, right? Either one of those. But what they like to do, CompTIA, sometimes they like to put you in the middle of the process. So maybe they'll say that you've already pinged the gateway. What should you do next? Right, and in that instance, you're thinking trace route, right? If we already know, we verified that our network is not the problem. Well, now we're trying to find out where out here is the problem, right? That's what trace route is about. It's just figuring out, all right, which airport is shut down right now. That's what it's about. So hopefully that makes sense. Just be careful when you're taking the exam that you know where you are in the troubleshooting process, because that'll give you a hint to what you should be looking for. Okay. What else? Any other questions on this one? I love the activities like this where it lets you actually do this and see the output, because this is this type of stuff that sticks in your head when you do it, as opposed to you never doing this and then going to the exam and then they show you this output and you're like, okay, what does this mean? You know what I mean? So, okay. Johnny's saying, wondering whether you could share the LearnKey student statistical information on the first and second time pass rate for Net Plus exam over the left. That I wouldn't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not keeping track of those numbers. Somebody is, but it's not me. So I can tell you this: Net Plus it's a tough exam. I mean, my time since I've been around, and like I said, I'm taking the last 2 versions of the exam. So I've been around. I've been Net Plus certified since 2014. And I can tell you this, since they updated from the 005 to the 006, Net Plus has been a pain because of the troubleshooting. I think a lot of people get thrown off by the troubleshooting because of what I was just talking about. Sometimes you get confused because you get these multiple choice scenarios, right? You get a question like this, but it's in the multiple choice scenario. And so you have 4 or 5 options to choose from, and 3 of them look like they could all be right. And I think a lot of the times people have problems figuring out where they are in the troubleshooting process. So, they'll pick the one, they'll pick the one that they feel is the answer, but a lot of the times they don't go back into the question to kind of verify what they should be looking for. A lot of the times there's a key word that's either first or next or best or most likely, right? And you have to go back and find those to kind of give you an idea of which one is the one that they're looking for. Okay, but so yeah, I mean, ever since they updated to the 006, Net Plus has been a pain. Before that, we had more problems with A Plus than we did with Net Plus. And that was my experience too. My struggle was with A Plus. And then once I got the right formula down for how to do things, I didn't have any more problems after that. So Net Plus was actually a little bit easier for me than A Plus was, because one, there wasn't so much troubleshooting at the time, and then the other thing was, I got a lot of what do you call it? I got a lot of the basics. I got the introduction to my network and then A plus. So when I got there, there was a lot of review at first, just as far as like this, like knowing a private versus a public address, and like in a people address versus a class A, B, C, like that stuff you learn in A plus. So when you get to Net Plus, it's just kind of review. What was a pain for me was subnetting. Was understanding the concept of subnetting. That was the hardest thing for me the first time going around in Net Plus. But yeah, to answer your question, I don't know the actual statistics, but I can tell you that Net Plus has been a pain. So would this program be the most useful tool in preparation for the troubleshooting? Yeah, in my opinion, yes, because it walks you through these activities. Okay, like the packet tracer, I could come here and I could do some things and intentionally break this network and, have you guys try to find out what the problem is. But if you don't know where to look, if you don't know what, simple switch commands, you're going to have a hard time trying to figure whatever I did out. Okay. Whereas this tool here, it walks you through the activities. So from a troubleshooting perspective, yes, this tool right here is going to probably be your best one, especially if you're new to like switch configurations and how to log into here, right? How to get into here. Then there's a whole bunch of show commands where I could get information about what's going on in this router, right? This is my routing table here, right? And so there's an activity here that kind of walks you through how to read this and things like this. And I can get a whole lot of other information in here as well. Once I go into config terminal, now I can start making all type of changes to this router. And so if you don't know how to do this, this is going to be the best tool for you, because it's going to walk you through how to do just the simple stuff, just getting into privilege mode and getting into config mode. Some of the simple commands to set up an IP address, or to shut down the interface, or to bring up an interface, things like that. This tool is going to walk you through that stuff, whereas Packet Tracer kind of assumes you already know how to do it. It's not going to walk you through any of this. So, but with Packet Tracer, the good thing about this is it's 100% configurable, and you have a lot more devices to play around with, right? You can there's even a Internet of Things option. I'm pretty sure I have one saved here. I think it's this one. Let me see. Yeah, it's this one here, right? So in this one, same deal, right? But you just have you have other devices here. You have your Internet of Things devices, right? So you have a wind detector down here. You have a garage door, a light. This is a smart light, right? A smart door. So you can unlock and lock the door from the tablet that is right here, right? Once you lock into the gateway here, you get access to all of these devices that are configurable. And you can open up your solar panels. You can turn on the sprinklers, right? And so this is a really good tool for understanding how to connect these devices, right? So that's why I really like this. I really like this because it gives you a lot more configurability, and it's free. You can't beat free, right? So there's a wider range. There's a lot more devices that you can play with, right? So ideally, what you want to do in a networking, you're getting ready for Net Plus, and I realize that we're out of time, but use this to kind of learn the stuff, and then once you get it down, right, then you can come over to Packet Tracer and start expanding, your skills. So anyway, yeah, we are out of time here. This is an awesome session. I think we got a lot done here. Or at least, we got to look at the different type of labs that you're going to see in this hands-on simulator here. So like I said, it's well worth it. There's about 75 of these. All of them pertain to what you're going to be seeing on the exam, and the real value here is the troubleshooting, because that's what you're going to see on the exam. And there's a section down here that's just dedicated to troubleshooting. So, okay. Can our VA rep provide funds for this simulator? Yeah, if they want to, they can. Some students have got the VA to pay for it. Some haven't. It just depends on your voc rehab counselor. So here's my spill on the voc rehab counselors. And actually, I'm going to stop recording before we get into this. So give me a second here. Next session will be on Tuesday. We'll be covering A+. I'll be doing a recap of my the 1002 exam. So if anyone's interested in that, then that will be on Tuesday. All right. Other than that, everyone, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.